At first, I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without the daylight by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking how it did me wrong, and I grew strong. And I realized that afternoon was now a theological concept, started blaming the axial tilt for all my problems, learned that the sun does in fact return at some point in increments so small they feel like mockery, and now I'm thriving on pure spite alone. Hi, and welcome to November. October was maybe a little much for us. We finally understood what the October canon event is all about. And the whole month was like one big roller coaster ride full of very high ups and very low downs. Afterwards, we even thought it might have had something to do with the supermoon. The whole month felt as if the supermoon was kind of just waiting to expose himself to us and teasing his appearance in a very subtle yet irresistible way. And it was such a ride that it almost felt like a high, leading us to come to full depression at the beginning of November. I talked about this once in my last video, and I will say it again. I truly believe that the end of summer marks the end of the year in some sense. Like, I feel like everything is already wound up at that point. Like, if nature is going to sleep, we might as well go to sleep with her. We have to talk about the elephant in the room. I went to the mayhem ball. Can you believe it? Because I can't. I don't want to go into too much detail on this. We went to Amsterdam and it was very spontaneous. It was the best night of my life, honestly. Also the most expensive one, but we won't talk about that. Having been a Gaga fan since like day one, I just feel like that the pure brilliance of this whole show, the brilliance of the whole artistry, shouldn't have surprised people as much as it did. I just want to say that for us little monsters, it feels like this is truly about Gaga claiming her artistry for herself, and it makes me happy. Oh my god, I passed out, which is another thing. I fainted. I fucking fainted in the middle of the crowd. I almost can't tell this story anymore because I have been telling it people so many times now. When she was playing Die With A Smile, I realized that my hearing was going away, I don't know, and my sight was fuzzy, and I realized that something was wrong, and I tried to run out of the crowd as fast as I could, but they had to pick me up from the floor. I had spent the whole day queuing and not eating or drinking enough. I had been fighting anxiety attacks for days, and even while I was in the pit, so it didn't really come to surprise to me. Might as well have been, it could have also been the frequencies. My circulation just left me. At least I got to see the very end of the show from the back of the crowd. And I was very happy to see that we got Mary Jane Holland, even though she had played that before as a bow song. So I talked about it with a lot of people in the queue, in the line, but we weren't expecting it. So it really was, it was a magical night. Alright, so I'm gonna have to stop now. As I said, I could go on about this for days. So let's just get back. If November were a day, it would be a Thursday. It's still like kind of the middle of the week, but like you can't stop thinking about the weekend or like the end of the year. If November were a browser tab, it would be like the one playing mysterious background audio that you just can't locate and refuse to close it. If November were a drink, it would be like a cold coffee that you forgot you made, but then you still finish it out of principle. If November were a party guest, it would be the friend who arrives way too early, helps you set up, and then just gives you quiet existential thoughts that you didn't ask for. I don't know, I figured that the best way to survive winter depression is to focus on the positive, and I mean, I struggle with this every day, but it sounds very, very simple if you think about it like that. I realize that you do make progress at some point, and then some days really feel a lot better. So for example, sometimes I come home and the first thing I tell my boyfriend is, oh my god, my trains, they were both on time today. Can you believe it? And I found a rental bike immediately, and it wasn't a broken bike, and I didn't forget my gloves or anything. So yeah, that feels good. So in essence, you could say that I tried this whole staying positive thing for some time now, and yes, it is worth it. So maybe November and the whole loss of daylight isn't the worst thing after all. I always get a little offended when people say that they like the fact that the days get shorter, because a horse person would never ever sign such a statement, but perhaps it's just something that keeps us humble. I thought about it and I realized that for me personally, it also really adds something to the romantic flair of the season. If we're being like 100% honest, I mean, could you imagine a Christmas where it only ever gets dark at 10 p.m? Yeah, I think that would just be sad. I mean, isn't that the whole reason why we try to make the best of this time? Why we try to make the best of our time? It's also Jesus' birthday, but so yeah, it kind of reminds us to appreciate daylight and appreciate weather and find a way to make the best of it. And so yeah, that's what I did. And visited my mom again, which has almost become like a monthly tradition at this point, and it's very important to me to see my family and my dog and the cat, and especially for my dog. This is Lewis. He's named Lewis after the comedian Jerry Lewis. He's 11 years old now, and he has suffered from 8 herniated discs, so we are all gonna have to go very easy on Lewis. He has had an operation done, but it does disable him. He's kind of like a disabled dog now that my mom has to take care of. So I try to come home and see him as often as I can. I also try to visit my horse at home. Having horses is honestly the most magical experience ever, because it feels like living in a fairy tale sometimes. On this day, for example, I summoned my noble steed at dawn and humbly requested her royal company on a modest woodland quest. With a grand snort of approval, she carried me into the forest's green cathedral, where leaves fluttered like enchanted confetti. My ears are burning up, you sure like to talk a lot. I heard about all the things you said, Babylon. Okay, a 1, a 2, a 3. Indelibly stamped, crime of the century, crisis what crisis, even in the quietest moments, breakfast in America, famous last words, You sure like to talk a lot. My ears are burning up. You sure like to talk a lot. I heard about all the things you said. Babylon.
Würdest du lieber eine Traube pissen oder eine Ananasscheibe?
Eine Traube?
Ja, eine Traube.
Ja, dann eine Traube. Also wie gesagt, ich würde die Traube nehmen, weil ich glaube, die Ananas überlebe ich nicht. Ich glaube, danach ist halt Feierabend.
Ich glaube halt auch, dass man...
Kannst du dir mal vorstellen,